record. All right. Hi, Maddie.
Hi.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right. Can you see my screen? Do you see measurement review worksheet on your screen?
Yes.
All right. Okay, Maddie. So today we're just going to go over our review sheet before our test tomorrow. All right. So this first part of the review, we're going to be talking about what we learned on Monday, which was measuring and measuring tools. Okay. So for question number 1, before we read it and get started, just by looking at this picture, what tool are we using to measure?
A ruler.
Good job. And so what unit of measurement are we about to measure in?
Centimeters,
How do you know it's centimeters?
because it says on the ruler the unit.
Oh, good. Awesome. And then before we even get started, again, what do these little tick marks mean? So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, but what are these ones in between? What is this first one right here?
4.
A fourth. Good. What's this one in the middle, right between?
A half.
Good. And then what's this one almost to the first number?
3/4.
Good. Good job, Maddie. All right, so let's read number 1. You want to read it for me?
How long is the pen in centimeters?
All right, so we are measuring this in centimeters, and it's nice that this picture already has that it kind of labeled out for us. So if we're following those steps that we learned in Monday, so we're going to start at the beginning, we're going to follow it from start at 0, keep going all the way to the bottom, stop, look no more, and we see that is right about here. So what is this length?
5.5.
5.5. All right, so let me see, get our tools out, drawing, good. What answer choice says 5.5 centimeters?
B.
B. All right, good job. So let's circle B. Good job, Madeline. All right, so we're going to go on to number 2. All right, I probably have to erase that. Undo. Okay. So for number 2, looks like what's this object that we're about to measure?
A phone.
A phone. How fun, right? Okay, so again, before we get started, what tool are we using again?
A ruler.
Good. And then what unit of measurement are we using?
Inches.
How do you know?
Because it says on the ruler below.
Awesome. Good job. And then again, we already know what these tick marks mean. So since we know that, let's follow it all the way. So we're going to start at 0, right? We start our object at 0. We follow it all the way and then stop, look no more. What is it? This tick mark represent right here. So we're at 4 and what?
4 3/4
4 3/4
inches.
Good job. All right. So which answer choice here has 4 3/4 inches?
D, sorry.
D. Good job. Way to correct yourself. So it's circle B. Good job, Madeline. All right. So now we'll go on to the next one. So for number 3, which measuring tool would best measure the object below? All right. So what is this object right here called?
Paper clip.
Good job. And are paper clips big objects or are they small?
Small.
Right. So what would be the most practical or what measuring tool would make sense to use to measure a paper clip?
A ruler.
A ruler, because it's small. That's a good idea. Could you use the other ones though too if you really wanted to?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could. You could easily still use a yardstick, tape measure, or meter stick. But again, ruler is the one that would make the most sense because it is small. So we would circle A. Good job, Eddie. All right, let's move on to the next section that we worked on. And this is the topics we covered on Tuesday, all right? And that was measurement comparison. All right, you want to read the question for me, number 1?
What is the length of a pencil A and pencil B in inches?
All right, so we first know that we are measuring in inches, and we're measuring not just one object, but two. All right, so if you have a good view of this, how long is pencil A? So if we start here, start from 0, go all the way to the end, and we follow it up. How long is that?
4 inches.
4 inches. Good job. So we would put 4 inches. And then for pencil B, if we start at the very top, bottom of it, follow it all the way to the end, stop, look no more. About how long is this one, a pencil B?
8 inches.
Awesome job, Madelyn. So let me put 8 inches. All right, so now that we know how long each pencil is, question number 2 is asking us what, Maddie?
Compare the length of pencil A and pencil B.
All right, and it's asking us to do that in 2 ways. So the 2 ways that we learned on Tuesday is with a formula and a number sentence, okay? And I'll remind you these right here. So for the formula, it's gonna be the length of the larger object, which was what, pencil A or pencil B?
Pencil B.
True, okay. So it would be pencil B minus pencil A is gonna equal about how much longer pencil B is than A. Okay, so let's do that one first. So how long was pencil B again?
8.
So pencil B, 8 inches. Yes, and what are we doing? Subtracting or adding?
Subtracting.
Yep, so pencil B, 8 inches minus pencil A, which was how much? How long?
4 inches.
4 inches. And how much does that equal out to be, Maddie?
4.
4, right? 8 minus 4 is 4. So that would be how much longer pencil B is than pencil A, is 4 inches, okay? All right, so now let's put that into a number sentence, okay? So for the number sentence, the layout is the name of the larger object is blank. So our answer would be 4 inches longer than the smaller object, which was pencil A. So it would be pencil B is how much longer?
4 inches.
4 inches longer than pencil A. All right, and that would be your number sentence. All right, good job. All right, so let's move on to part 3. We're almost done. So on part 3, this is what we talked about on Wednesday, and this is when we did our Desmos. And what we talked about was estimation and comparison of measurements, okay? So this is the ones where we're measuring objects, but not the exact measurement. We're just getting an estimate, okay? So when we're looking at this leaf, we're still using, we're using the ruler in this question. How about you read it for me?
Estimate about how long is the leaf. Round up to the nearest inch.
All right, so what unit of measurement are we going to use?
Inches.
Yes. And are we rounding up or down?
Up.
Right. Okay. So when looking at the leaf, we can go to the very tip of it and even drag it down to right about here. What would you round that up to? Right? What would you round the leaf up to? Because it's over 3, right? So what is the next nearest inch?
Like 4 is 4.
Yes, 4. And then you might be like, well, it's still kind of a bit away from 4. But again, this is just estimating. If you even said 3.5, it looks like it's almost exactly 3.5, but which would be lucky. If you said 3.5, I wouldn't count it wrong either. But this is just giving a ballpark estimate, all right? Just very broad. Yeah, 3.5, 4 inches, I would accept either one. So, but you said 4, so we'll say 4 inches. Good job. All right. All righty, for this one, we have two more. So for number 2, would you like to read it?
Estimate, look at leaf A, B, and C. Round each leaf to the nearest inch. Write your estimating below.
Good. So again, what unit of measurement are we going to measure in?
Inches.
Good. So we're going to estimate and measure each one, okay? So we can round either up or down, all right? So whatever, if you want to go up, if you want to go down, it won't be wrong, okay? So when looking at leaf A, about how long is it?
4/5. Or 5/4. 5/4.
5 1/4, that's the exact measurement. But if we're just giving estimate, how would you estimate that? Would you say it's about 5, maybe 5.5? You could even, say 6 if you wanted to. What do you think your best estimate is?
5.
Yeah, about 5. Good job. So about 5 inches is leaf A. Okay, how about leaf B? So if we go file it all the way, it tells you the exact measurement. What would you say it's about?
4 3/4.
Again, that's an exact measurement. We're just doing a broad. Either your estimate is going to be 4 or 5. Or it's because it's exactly 4.5. But if you're going to estimate, would you estimate about 4 inches, about 5 inches? What would you say?
4 and 3. 3/4.
Not quite. Again, listen to what I'm saying. We're not doing exact measurements. You're giving me exact measurements. You're saying 4 and 3/4, but when we're estimating, we're not using exact. We're just giving a ballpark answer. So it's either about 4 inches or about 5, or you could even say it's about 4.5.
4.
4. All right, there you go. So leaf B is about 4 inches. All right. If we were doing exact measurements, you'd be on the ballpark. All right. So for leaf C, what would you estimate it to be? Would it be about 5 or about 6 inches?
6.
6. Good job. All right. Oops. 6 inches. Good job, man. All right, let's do our last question. So, would you read it for me?
Estimate and compare. If I round leaf A down to 5 inches and round leaf C to 6 inches, about how much longer is leaf C than leaf A?
All right. So what is it asking you to do, Maddie? Or is it asking you to add or subtract?
Add.
Why do you think add?
Because
All right. What does this question sound familiar to? What does this look like almost? Let's look. Remember when we did our formula? What did we do in our formula when we were comparing?
subtract.
We subtract, right? Because we were trying to find out how much longer pencil B was from pencil A. And it's asking you the same thing down here, right? It's just telling you to look at if they're rounding leaf A to 5 and leaf C to 6, how much longer is leaf C than A? That's asking you to subtract, right? Because we know that leaf C is longer just by looking at it. Okay? So how would we set up the subtraction problem, right? What number would we take away first? What leaf would go first? Leaf C or A?
A.
We pick the bigger one. Which one's the bigger leaf?
A.
Not A, look again. Remember it says leaf A, if I round leaf A down to 5 inches and round leaf C to 6 inches, which is bigger, 5 or 6?
5, 6.
6, right? And which one's 6 inches, leaf A or leaf C?
C.
C. So you would say leaf C, 6 inches, subtract leaf A, which is how many inches? About how many?
About
5. So, and that would equal what?
1.
1 inch. So if we wanted to put that in a word formula, or if we want to put that in a sentence, we would say leaf C is about 1 inch longer than leaf A. All right, can you see that too? You even look, if you even look visually, you can see that it's still longer, right?
Yes.
All right, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, do you have any questions before the test tomorrow?
No.
Alrighty, if you end up having any questions, feel free to email me, and we can set up another Zoom session to go over any questions that you may have, okay?
Okay.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Madeline. Good job, and I will see you tomorrow, okay?
All right, see ya.
Bye.